Hey, I want to read to you today from Joshua chapter 20, verses 1 through 6. Yahweh also spoke to Joshua, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, Appoint for yourselves cities of refuge, of which I spoke to you through Moses, that the slayer who kills a person accidentally or unintentionally may flee there, and they shall be your refuge from the avenger of blood. And when he flees to one of those cities and stands at the entrance of the gate of the city, and declares his case in the hearing of the elders of that city, they shall take him into the city as one of them, and give him a place that he may dwell among them. Then if the avenger of blood pursues him, they shall not deliver the slayer into his hand, because he struck his neighbor unintentionally, but did not hate him beforehand. And he shall dwell in that city until he stands before the congregation for judgment, or until the death of the one who is high priest in those days. Then the slayer may return and come to his own city and his own house, to the city from which he fled. Let me also read a related passage in Deuteronomy chapter 16, verses 18 through 20. You shall appoint judges and officers in all your gates, which Yahweh your God gives you according to your tribes, and you shall judge the people with just judgment. You shall not pervert justice, you shall not show partiality, nor take a bribe, for a bribe blinds the eyes of the wise and twists the words of the righteous. You shall follow what is altogether just, that you may live and inherit the land which Yahweh your God is giving you. Notice that in both of these passages, God says that you and I are the responsible parties. We are to appoint judges. We are to appoint the cities of refuge. And if our judges and our officers that we have appointed are not ensuring justice as they are required, that's our problem. It's our problem to solve. We are required to replace those judges and those officers when required. The judges that are spoken of in biblical culture were the elders of the cities who were appointed for this purpose. It was not a default position, but the people of that city appointed the judges for themselves. And they were older, respected men who were known to have well-behaved families. You could essentially take the qualifications that Paul gave to Timothy and Titus for church elders, or that Jethro gave to Moses for appointing judges in the wilderness. And they would hold court in the city gates. And the officers were militia commanders and an ad hoc police force. They weren't professionals. They were normal people who were called up specifically for these responsibilities. And they would be the ones who would enforce the law, unless the whole city was called up for some reason, like happened in the city of Benjamin with the concubine of the Levite. But in all of these cases, whether it's ensuring that the manslayer is given a safe haven in the city of refuge, or ensuring that murderers are tried correctly and that witnesses are produced according to good standards, reliable, righteous witnesses who are not guilty themselves. These are the responsibilities of the people. The judges and the officers are the agents of the people. They don't have a divine right. The people don't serve the judges. The judges and the officers serve the people. So if your government, if your nation, your city is not executing justice, they're not holding people accountable to God's standards, they're not executing murderers, and they're not protecting the innocent as they are required, that's not the government's fault. It's yours. You are responsible for appointing judges and officers, and you are responsible for ensuring that they're doing their job. This is Jay Carper from American Torah. Be blessed.